Kilo 4 Hotel Echo Whiskey.
Kilo 4 Echo Hotel Whiskey.
Check it. Kilo 4 Hotel Echo Whiskey, HEW. Joe is the name here. Juliet Oscar Echo.
Roger, Roger. Joe, sound good. Whereabouts are you, sir?
Hi, good afternoon, Jim. Yeah, we're down in just outside of Raleigh, North Carolina, city of Clayton, about 20 miles southeast of Raleigh in North Carolina. And we're actually in a motorhome. We're in an RV park. We're full-timing it, and I'm running an Icom 7300 inside the motorhome. And on the rear ladder of the motorhome, I have a Eagle 1 vertical, one of the push-up verticals, and I'm really happy with it. We got it about 6 months ago before we started our trip around the country in June, and we've just been delighted so far. I'm just running it at 100 watts and no amplifier, and wanted to know how it sounds. And I do have the stock mic. I was listening intently to your discussion with a couple of fellows back there. I've heard a lot about the microphones on these. I understand, maybe I heard it correctly, the same fellow, Bob Heil, did the microphone development for this microphone I'm speaking into. Is that correct?
I don't think so. Bob is pretty much a dynamic microphone person, and those microphones are a condenser. So I would be very surprised if he were involved in the development of that microphone. But somebody was, and somebody did a real good job as far as developing that microphone for the 7300 and the 7610, because it just is so beautiful. It just shows the radio off so good, you know. And I think, you know, a lot of folks have changed mics and put that hand mic in a dresser somewhere or in a closet or something. But in order to come up with the same frequency response, and they're running a dynamic, they're going to have to crank in a little top-end EQ to match the performance of that hand mic condenser. Roger?
Well, I'd have to agree. The fellows I've heard on the other end who have had the 7300 stock setup have really sounded good. I accused them of having an amplified mic, and it wasn't the case. So it's I got a big grin on my face when I first started talking on the radio. I've only had it since April, but when I first started using the radio, I got several fellows up in Canada said, here's what you do. I said, how's the radio sound? They said, here's what you do. You go get a tube of super glue and put a drop on each of the buttons on that thing and don't touch it. So I haven't really adjusted it at all.
Roger. Now, you do have to exercise a little mic technique on it, and that is not work directly into it, but pull it to the side of your mouth and then talk across it. And that way you can use that mic without a windscreen, you know. If you try to work directly into it, you are destined for some turbulence and pop-Ps and plosives and stuff. But if you work across it in the corner of your mouth, that's the trick. Roger?
Well, I'm looking at my screen here. I'm speaking directly into the microphone right now, and now I'm pulling it off to the side where those pops and pushes should pass right over without affecting the audio. How does that make a difference?
Roger, Roger. Now, I don't know if conditions or not, or if you pulled it too far. Your level did drop. Come back and let me see if it was conditions or what.
Okay, I could see the ALC meter drop down a little bit also. Here I am speaking directly into it, and the ALC is about mid-range at its maximum. And here we are in the corner of my mouth. The ALC is pretty much the same, a little bit less.
Roger, Roger. So if you bring up your mic level just a tad and work it sideways, then you're going to be doing good. It is not a microphone that you want to work directly into. You want to cross mic that mic.
Okay, understood. Yeah, I had it at a setting what they call mic gain at 90. Mic gain on there is a selectable item. I had it at about 91%, and I just set it up to 96%. don't know what that difference in audio would be, but I guess we'll find out.
Roger, Roger. Now we're just getting Mother Nature's playing some games. As far as signal strength, I think we'll just see what she wants to do. But anyway, that hand mic is not to be sneezed at. That's a great mic. And folks, you got to realize that when they, obviously most people want to use a boom or a desk mic or something rather than the hand mic. But they should be aware that they're going to have to crank in a little top end EQ to match the performance of the hand mic. Roger.
Oh, that makes perfect sense. Yeah. I was looking at your web page here in the video, past productions there. I see the mic you use. That does look like a nice setup. I would have to call you the Rush Limbaugh of ham radio. How's that?
Roger, Roger. Well, it's a real blast to be able to talk to a bunch of people for like the hour and a half that we usually run the thing, and that 7300 and the 7610 are truly two of the most outstanding radios going today. I think the limiter in both of those are just perfect. I mean, it's called a Stonewall limiter. And as when you run, mid-scale to 2/3 on the ALC, that limiter is just sitting right in back there and just starts to fatten up that audio signal by only a couple of dB. But a couple of dB of Stonewall limiting will take you from 30% average peak modulation up to about 60 or 70%. So it's just two beautiful radios, Roger.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I've noticed also it does not let you overmodulate what I would call, back in the old days, the early CB radio before it got trashed. We used to pay attention to that with our lollipop microphones. You could overmodulate way too easily, and this thing will not let you do that apparently.
No, that's the neat thing about a Stonewall limiter. It establishes a point, and when you turn up your mic gain, all that happens is that your audio signal, just gets fatter. It doesn't get past that 100% because that's a Stonewall limiter keeping it there in the AOC circuit. It just gets fatter, Roger.
The engineers that designed this radio really knew what they were doing, and I think they took a lot of good input and good thought, and they wrapped it up in a really nice package here. I just couldn't be happier with it. Anyway, I know there's a couple other fellows that wanted to come in there and do the same thing I'm doing, so sure enjoyed the QSO, Jim. I will ride along here, because I love listening. And so we're clear. If you'll be clear on your final with KC9 Victor Kilo Victor. This is Kilo 4 Hotel Echo Whiskey 73.
Roger, Roger, Joe. 3's that way, sir. Like I say, that's a great radio. You should be very proud of that, and I wish I had mine. I have offered the wife 5 years of honeydews, but I still haven't managed to convince her that she should, or I should get that radio. So I'm just going to have to trudge on with this Yaesu 990, modified as it is and working as perfect as it is. I just would, like the chance of running the 7300 for a while. But anyway, 3's that way, and we'll catch you later. Tony, Joe, you have a good day. This is KC9VKV in the Qso-Vlog program, where we record for an hour and a half from 3:30 to 5 on Friday afternoons. If you have a radio, you want to check out the audio, give us a shout. We are recording, and then a couple of days we'll post it up on YouTube. And you can do a call letter search of KC9VKV, and that'll take you to the Qso-Vlog page. And on that page, this session is called My Group Aircheck 120718. My Group Aircheck 120718. This is KC9VKV.